Welcome back. As promised, I told you we'd do the whole shebang this week, so let's get into it. So, it's going to be a different card because we got a very early card this week. It starts, I think, at 3 a.m. with the prelims, 6 a.m. for the main card Eastern time. So it's going to be an early day or late night, probably late night for me. We got, I think this is the order of the card. I might have a couple of them mixed up, but I think this is pretty close. We have Dr. Nurgoze versus Uren Satibaldiev. Both of them have one loss. Dr's got 10 wins and Uren's got 9 wins. Uren wants a long-range striking match. He's usually low output, but he wins by controlling the tempo. He has a good jab and a good teep, and he's pretty good at nullifying wrestling. He does have 100% takedown defense, but he hasn't fought that many people, so we'll see if he can keep it standing against Dr. His strengths, he has a big cardio edge, I believe, in this fight. Dr. kind of slows down even after the first round, after the first half of the first round. He has good composure, and he usually has pretty good distance control. He can lose rounds if his opponent looks busier than him, but I don't think it's going to be the case here. So for Dr., he has a 5-inch reach disadvantage and a 2-inch height disadvantage. So if it's a striking match, it's going to be a little bit rougher for him just right off the bat. And he usually goes for fast finishes inside of round 1. 70% of his wins are round 1 stoppages. So keep that in mind if you're betting round 1. He is an explosive striker with 49% striking accuracy, and he does have a little bit of wrestling, and he has had a submission attempt or two, so there is that. His strengths are power, speed, and unpredictability. He had a random head kick knockout. He is very good head kicks, to be honest. His cardio does kind of fall off a cliff when it falls off, and if Uren does get grappling a little bit, which I don't think he will, but if it does turn into grappling at all, I feel like Dr is going to just gas. So I got Uren by decision. I feel like Dr can't finish him in the first round, and I feel like Uren, if Dr does win round 1, Uren will get the next 2 rounds just jabbing and keeping a good distance on him. My most confident bet would be him by decision. Live underdog would be Dr round 1, and then if you want a decent prop, you could maybe do sprinkle on Satibaldiev round 3 knockout, just because I think Dr is going to be gassed. So that's that fight. We're gonna move on to the next fight. I also think the under would be good, or does not go to decision. No, I don't think that. I think Uren wins by decision. So we'll just end it there. We'll move on to the next fight. Alright, we are moving on to Long Zhao versus Su Young Yu. Long Zhao is 27-9 and Su Young Yu is 15-3. I'm going with Yu by decision. I believe that this should be a pretty good fight. I think both guys are durable. Both guys are kind of volume based, and neither of them really have one-shot power. Su Young Yu is very tighty. He's got very good good defense, good striking defense. He's got good takedown defense. He's fought really good strikers. He's fought good wrestlers. He's been tested in the amateur scene, from what I've seen. And Xiaolong, he probably is going to win moments. Like, he's going to look really good for flurries. But I feel like the control is going to go by for Su Young-yu. I think he just has tighter boxing, steadier defense, and Zhalong tends to drift and overextend, which is going to lead to Yu getting him off balance. I saw him use 5 different takedowns in 1 round. So, different takedowns. Like, for a double, and for a single, then he went for 2 different trips. Like, he's got some good moves going on. Let me see if I can. I don't even know if this will work. I could just do it on the computer. But let me just see if I can show you this. Okay, so this probably isn't going to work. Sorry. Alright, see it? Boom. Flips him right into back control. Into choke. Like, this guy is basically locking my night. I'm going pretty heavy on him to win. I'm going by decision. I just feel like he's just he's just a blanket. He's a wet blanket. For the safer bet, you could just do goes to decision, just because it is in China, and Long Zhao is the Chinese fighter against the South Korean fighter. So that is my only hang-up. Other than that, I think Su Young-yu wins a couple more fights pretty handedly. I think he survives any flurries that Zhalong has, or Long Zhao. I don't know how they do it. But I think it could be a split decision with Long Zhao winning, just because China. But I'm very, very confident Su Young-yu would win this fight if it wasn't in China. So that's who I'm going. He's one of my heavy locks I'm going with on this card. The only thing that worries me is I'm expecting him to win by decision, and it's in China, and he's not the Chinese fighter. So that's the only thing that gives me a little bit worried. But we'll move on. All right, now this is where I'm going to differ from a lot of people's picks. So my breakdown. I think he's way better on the feet. I think he has good pressure. He's got good in the clinch. He's got really good ground and pound. He's at home in China. He has a momentum. He kind of has a style edge on him. That being said, I think Weston Wilson gets a submission in the first round. Partially because Yiza does overextend, and Weston Wilson has good takedowns. And Weston Wilson has fought, I hope this doesn't come up over the overlay, has fought for in the UFC alone only. And this doesn't include any contender series or any kind of those fights. I consider those, or Ultimate Fighter fights. I consider those not UFC fights. In the UFC, he has fought for a total of, now I did this calculation, 2 minutes and 58 seconds. In that 2 minutes and 58 seconds, he has 8.4 submissions attempted. His losses are versus sorry. His losses are versus Jin Silva, who I think is best featherweight there is on the roster. And Joe Anderson Brito. He's freaking good. Like, he's 14-3, 14-3-1. Other than that, his only other fight in the UFC was Jeka Sergey. And he, as he should have, armbarred him with a triangle in the first round, 1 minute and 49 seconds in. I will say, I'm not 100% confident, but I watched a lot of fights of the two of them, and I'm 75% sure, and I threw $10 or $20 right on him, like immediately. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of his last 14 fights ended in round 1. So if you just want to do end in round 1, wouldn't be terrible. He is kill or be killed. He is, as of now, my T-Rex. Of the division of featherweight. So you could bet the under, you could do first round. I'm going Wesley Wilson, money line. Boom. Probably taken by a sub, first round, whatever you want to do. I think it is first round finish. So if you want to do ease off first round finish, whatever you want to do. But I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm back on my man Wesley Wilson. It's American. Going in China soil, you know, you gotta back the man. He has a reach advantage, he has a height advantage, just looking at that. That's about it. He's 100% finish rate. He might get taken down and just accept bottom position and try and get some subs out of that, which is probably what he's gonna do. And I do worry about Yuza's good ground and pound with that. So that is the likely outcome for most people, is Yuza ground and pound knockout round 1. So do what you want to do. I like to have fun. So I'm going Wesley Wilson by submission. Round 1. Boom. Moving on. Right, we got Michel Pereira going against Kyle Dawkins in his return to the UFC. Michel Pereira is giving up the height advantage, the reach advantage, and all kinds of takedown advantage and ground control advantage. Sorry, my green screen looks like it's gonna fall down. I don't think Kyle Dawkins is good, but we'll just get on with the breakdown. Michel Pereira's packed to victory. He's a pure athletic dynamo. He's flying knees, kicks, explosive bursts. He likes to enter into guard with backflips. He has strong takedown defense, minus the Anthony Hernandez fight, but we all just seen what he does to people. He usually does punish with knees, and he stuffs single leg takedowns very good. He's momentum based. If he starts cooking, he keeps cooking. If his opponents stifle him, he eats mud in the water. His best case is to keep it standing and piece up Dawkins, which is very easily do, and he can hunt a highlight KO doing that. Dawkins path to victory is he is grappling first. He does good body lock takedowns. He has good Darce and Anaconda chokes. He's good against the cage. He's good chest to chest, and he can bank for some rounds doing just cage control stuff. He's been killing it on the amateur scene again. and he does keep calm in scrambles, which is going to help because Michel Pereira can scramble pretty well. But with Dawkins, he has those really long arms, and he's just good at controlling people. So I think his best case scenario is to keep close to the range early and drag him into the wrestling. And I think he can get a decision, and he might be able to get a submission. It all depends on which Pierre shows up. Because the last 2 fights, 2 fights ago he fought Hernandez, and then last fight he fought, I think, Abus Megamedo. Yeah, and he looked absolutely atrocious in that fight. I'm not gonna lie. Kyle Dawkins would have beat him that night. I would have beat him that night, and I have a fucking gun for a hand. So take that for what it is. I used to absolutely cheer for Michel Pereira fights, and I hope he gets back to himself because he is so fun to watch. And I thought when he moved up, he was just dominating everyone. Granted, he ran into Fluffy, so take that for what you will. I hope he gets back to dominating, but I'm staying away from him with any kind of money or any kind of bet, and I suggest you all do the same. But you just do fight doesn't go the distance. I think that'll be pretty safe. But I think it'll be round 1, round 2, Pierre knockout. But I think Dawkins by decision submission is where I'm going. So that being said, we're gonna move on. All right. One more point I remember to bring up now is that the opponent of Weston Wilson, Yiza, besides his road to UFC fights, which are basically amateur fights, he has 2 UFC fights. He made it to the UFC, lost a split decision to Junglong Lee, and then he went right back to the road to UFC, won his way back, and then lost a unanimous decision to Gabriel Dos Santos, which Gabriel Santos is good, but just saying, the only 2 UFC level fights he's had, he's lost by decision. So, another point for Weston Wilson. Moving on to this fight, though. We have Rong Zhu against Austin Hubbard. And I tried to be a fan of Austin Hubbard. I rooted for him in the Ultimate Fighter. It was like the Champions Edition or whatever, or the Rehash Edition, whatever, where they brought the fighters back. He lost to Kurt Hollabaugh, which Kurt Hollabaugh is alright, but again, barely a UFC fighter. So if you're losing to him, and then he lost to Alexander Hernandez, which he had no business fighting Alexander Hernandez, let's be honest. No Marquero Madaras, which he probably had no business fighting him, but here we are with Rong Zhu. Rong Zhu beat Cody Steele. It's a good win. He lost to Chris Padilla, which is a fine loss. And those are his only 2, no, he's had 2 stints too. He lost to Ignacio Bahamondes, which that's fine. And Rodrigo Vargas. Sounds familiar, but he wasn't very good. Oh, he lost to Paddy the Batty. I think Austin Hubbard can win this fight, but Rong Zhu's path to victory. He has explosive youth edge, and he does throw with real power. He throws a good straight right and a step-in hook. He can steal rounds with bursts, knockdowns. He has good flurries. He likes to lead the striking rather than to wait and counter-strike. Expect him to push early volume and try and hurt Hubbard early in the pocket. His best case scenario is to find Hubbard's chin early. He rides momentum very good, so if he starts pretty early, he's gonna start to flow. So I think he's gonna even that man. Austin Hubbard, He's good at chain wrestling, good cardio. He's got good, strong clinch control, knees. He's good at stifling explosiveness. He's pretty calm, durable. He might be able to weather Zhu's burst and grind out a decision. I think I might just go with a double method bet, Hubbard decision and Zhu TKO, because Hubbard ain't doing anything else, and Wrong Zhu ain't doing nothing else. He ain't winning a decision over Hubbard, I don't think. I don't know, he won. Man. I'm going Wrong Zhu by knockout, but I think Hubbard can win this by decision. So that's where I'm gonna stick. Hubbard does have, I mean, he's got an inch height, but I mean, shit. Just bet Hubbard takedown. That's it. Alright, let's move on to the next fight. This fight should be a banger. We've got Loner Kavanaugh versus Charles Johnson. Loner Kavanaugh, he's crisp, straight boxing, scores early and often. He starts very fast. He circles well. He moves well. He's not gonna be a standing target for a teep kick or a jab. Which Johnson does both of those well. He mixes in a little bit of wrestling and takedowns. He doesn't like hold people there usually, but he does throw people and kind of just breaks the rhythm of them. He's got strong fight IQ. He knows how to bank rounds, and he's durable. Charles Johnson, he is the slowest MFer to start round one. After that, he's a great fighter. If Charles Johnson can fight 3-round fights, he would win 80% of the losses he's had. That being said, I think he's going to start slow, and Kavanaugh's going to outpace him in the first round, and then he'll win one of the other 2 rounds. Kavanaugh's good. He's from China. I like Charles Johnson. He really needs to start faster. I don't know what it is. But I think this could go to a decision. So if you just want to do fight goes to decision, the odds might not be too cooked on that. I think Loner Kavanaugh by decision is a good way to do it. But you could go finish only Charles Johnson, because I don't think Loner Kavanaugh is finishing Charles Johnson. That might be alright. Or you can just do the round 3 finish Charles Johnson. It's always a fun bet to make. But I had a point to make. Okay, so Loner Kavanaugh, he fought his ass off against Felipe Dos Santos and Jose Ochoa, and those were his 2 fights in the UFC. I think Charles Johnson, I think he struggles with both of those fighters, but he also knocked out Charles Van. I think he was losing that decision though, if it went to decision. He beat Sumiderji. Decision. I think it's going to decision, and I think Loner Kavanaugh wins, just because, only because Charles Johnson starts fighting in round 2. That's it. If he starts fighting in round 1, he wins this fight. Period. He might even win by finish if he starts fighting in round 1 ever. So, I'm gonna go Kavanaugh by decision. Official decision. I think Charles Johnson's in his twilight years of his prime, so he needs to get moving if he wants to make a run. He's got all the possibilities to make a run. He's very good. He's just got to get it all together. He's got the size, he's got the speed, he's a good fighter. So I hope Charles Johnson gets it done, but I'm going Kavanaugh by decision. Could be a greasy decision because China. Alright, we got Matahate Hauser against Gage Young. Machete is a long-rangey striker. He's got real power. He's got straight shots and knees, KOs in them. He can establish a jab. He has a good one too. That being said, he needs to stay the F away from Gaethje. He needs to just stay away. Just go around in circles. Just circle him. Muhammad Ali him. He's got more experience than Gaethje, but Gaethje is dangerous. He's boxer wrestler with KO power and opportunistic submissions. He will pressure and back Machete to the cage, and that's what I'm worried about, because then he might change some takedowns and flip the script on its back. He does have strong finishing instincts, but he doesn't have a whole lot of one-punch power that I saw. He's very athletic, but he does rush things a lot, and we just saw how that can end against Miller Murphy. So, that being said, I think Machete wins by knockout in the first or second round. I think he could also win a decision. I think Gaethje, the only way he wins is by knockout, which he could do, but I don't think so. I'm going Machete by knockout. I think he could probably do fight doesn't go to distance very safely here. Very safely here. So, that's where I'm at with this fight. Moving on. We have Tailaki Naraji against Kiefer Crosby here. Tailaki Naraji is 11-1. Kiefer Crosby is 10-5. Naraji being the Chinese fighter here. Crosby's just a freaking bar fighter. Naraji's good. Very, very, very hard to get any tape on him besides the last couple fights. That's why his finish rate is 0, takedown 0. Technically, he doesn't have a single fight in the UFC yet. So, what I track, I had to even put in some of these just to get some kind of outcome on my model. But, fairly certain. The only thing I'm worried about is Niraji, his age. He might not have the experience, so that's why I'm going by decision. Crosby is a durable MFer, but I think he loses this by decision just because Niraji has very good output. Wouldn't be surprised if Crosby gets knocked out, but he's usually pretty durable. I got anything else here? Yeah, no, she tall, long south. I'm just going with my notes. Long southpaw, jab, straight kick flow. He frustrates people. He has a snowballing tempo, so he kind of just, if he gets striking, he gets better and better and better. He has a good straight left and body kick, which will kind of punish Crosby's stance, I think. He needs to stay away, though. And, I hope he doesn't gas, because Crosby might take this into later rounds. He is a veteran Savvy. He can get into brawls, but he'll pressure you for sure. I'm hoping he doesn't land any good elbows, because that's what I'm worried about. I don't think he wins, but he could win in the clinch. But I think Niraji by decision or KO in rounds 2 or 3. You could do a Over 1.5, I think would be pretty safe here because they're both pretty durable as far as early. So yeah, that's it for me on this fight here. Moving on. Oh, by the way, please hit like, subscribe, follow, whatever you gotta do. Trying to grow. I know the last couple weeks have been rough, but we're bringing the whole shebang with you this week. I did make the model, but I'm trying to work on the formula more. So if you're wondering why I haven't hyped up the website and the model, I haven't really had time to do a website. And the model, I am working on the formula because it wasn't as accurate as I wanted it to be. So bottom line, I don't want to do something if it's not going to make us money. You know what I mean? So spending 100 hours, literally 60 to 100 hours a week on the shit and losing. So that felt like shit. So I decided to just do the old-fashioned way again. Watch a lot of tape. Using the model still as a confirmation because the model's in progress. It's being worked on. The formula is being worked on. They're IG by decision or KO. Please like, follow, subscribe. Moving on. Man, this fight was really intriguing because this dude's always an underdog. We got Simaderji versus Kevin Borjas. Sorry. And Simaderji is a long southpaw. He's like an artillery striker. He just snipes from range. He uses a lot of teeps and calf kicks. He has clean footwork. He does have pretty good counter timing. And he shouldn't panic in the pocket, but he's still a little bit young. He does have the experience edge here, though. Not much, though. If he can keep Borjas outside and rack up clean strikes, I think he can win it by decision. That being said, Kevin Borjas is a pocket boxer with very good pressure. He throws in good combos. He has durability and willingness to eat shots and give them. He has very good movement. Very good side-to-side movement. He goes to the body, he goes to the head, he goes to the body, goes to the head. I think he has a really good chance to be an upset here. I know it's plus like 120 or something like that, but underdog's an underdog. I see Borjas winning by knockout or decision. That being said, Simaderji could win this by decision only. I don't think he gets a knockout on Borjas. Borjas is a fucking shit, and it's flyweight, so. Yeah, being flyweight probably goes to decision. Or over, at least. I'm going Borjas, though. Borjas by KO. I told you how Simaderji can win, which could happen. Moving on now. We got the biggie boys. We got Sergey Pavlovich, 19-3, going against Waldo Cortez Acosta, who is 14-1. That one is the only time I bet on Waldo. Sad day. So Sergey Pavlovich, we all know him. Hits like a truck. He can wrestle very well. Decent cardio. He can be outpointed. And he can be submitted. He can also be knocked out. He's got the power, which Waldo does not. I don't think. They're the same age, which was kind of surprising to me because Sergey's been in the UFC a lot longer. I feel like they're both kind of in different spots in their career, but I hope Sergey's... Oh, sorry, I tried not to. I hope Sergey is kind of coming back into it because it'd be nice to see him fight more often. He's fun to watch. He has the better grappling here. He has the better knockout power here. He does have the less volume, but it's heavyweight. So, got the good takedown defense. He's got 6 inches of reach advantage. I think Sergey Pavlovich gets back on track here with the KO. Waldo can get hit. I think Waldo's a great fighter. I just think he doesn't really have that many path to victories here. The only path to victory has a lucky knockout or just to piece him up, but with that reach disadvantage, I don't think he can. So, we're gonna move on. And we all know these two fighters also. Brian Ortega, 16-4, taking on Aljamain Sterling, who was 24-5. Neither one of these fighters seems to be very excited about the 5 rounds, but I feel like Aljamain is pissed about it. So I think Ortega has something to do with the 5 rounds. Or Dana just said, I'm paying these fighters enough money they can fight 5 rounds, because that's probably more what it was. Because I feel like a lot of the rankings is by pay too, by fighter pay. The UFC rankings, that is. Brian Ortega, not very active. Decent boxer, amazing jiu-jitsu off of his back, amazing jiu-jitsu off the top control. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's like 5 in the morning. He is what he is. Super durable boxer, jiu-jitsu. And Aljamain Sterling is a wrestler, jiu-jitsu. So I think Aljamain's probably going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger. A little bit fresher, more active, takes his career more seriously nowadays. Ortega just seems to just come in and fight whenever UFC calls him. Whenever he wants money. I see Aljamain he's just taking control of his fight. It could be a striking match only, in which Aljamain Sterling will just destroy his leg and stay at distance and pick him apart. I think Aljamain Sterling wins this by decision, but the 5 rounds kind of worries me. I think over 2.5 is pretty safe. I'm going Sterling with takedowns too, because I think he'll get 2 or 3. We'll have to see what the line is. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna move on so I don't keep yawning in your guys' ears. So I'm going Aljamain Sterling by decision. Should be over 2.5 at least. And some takedowns for Aljo would be a safe bet. And then the main event. My man Johnny Walker taking on Minyang Zhang. Minyang Zhang's good, but he's untested. I'm picking him officially to knock out Johnny Walker. But I absolutely love Johnny Walker and his brother. So I am on his side. I think he's hitting the peak of his career. He's learned his lessons. He's eaten some shots. He's got knocked out 3 times in one fight. He typically only loses to really good people and mostly champions. This fight is not going to decision. It is not going 3 rounds. Johnny Walker could win this by submission. He could win this by knockout. Minyang Zhang could win this by knockout. It is going to be a fun fight. It's going to be a flashy fight. Johnny Walker's never in boring fights. I'm going Johnny Walker. Oh, so sorry. I'm going Johnny Walker. Round 2. Let's get it. I don't know if I updated my bet sheet. I didn't for the Prestige Parlay, but that's okay. Weekly double up. We hit last week. And we hit the week before that. So we're on a streak. We're going 47.49 to 112.40, and then it'll be 224, roughly 400. You get it. Boom, boom. It's gonna add up real quick coming forward now. This week we're going Zurong Yu, or Su Young Yu, and Rong Zhu for plus 136. I think that's a pretty safe bet. That's what we're going with, and we are still riding this. Oops. We are still riding the Carlos Prates, Olajaychik, John Silva bet from last week. I'll just come up with another one for you real quick. Let's just look. What's a good safe one that I can hand you? Log in. Okay. I think the under. Yeah, let's do this one. Taileki Nolaji money line minus 425. The under 1.5 on the Weston Wilson Diza fight, and under 1.5 on the Johnny Walker and Yang Mang Yang, and that is that plus 145 parlay. I don't know if you can see it, but plus 145 right there. Boom. Yeah, I know. You look like Joe Rogan right now. That's okay. Let's make some money. We are still at 68%. Perfectly happy with that. Over the last 8 cards, almost 70%. Hopefully you guys are making money like I am. I know my man Ben is. Shout out to Ben. And yeah, shout out to my girl for being patient while I make all these videos and procrastinate and use it as an excuse over and over. Let's make some freaking money again. I'm optimistic. Let's get it done. Su Young Yu, decision, Rongzhu, weekly double. See you next week. Let's get it.